Thank you. It's so important for us to remember why we are here. We are here collectively as a non-racist movement. I know some of you are angry and angrier than me, and perhaps, I don't know if we can get any angrier. Our battle is against imperialism, hegemony, Zionism. It is not against Jewish people. There are thousands and thousands of Jewish people that are with us. This is not the Holocaust. This is a crime in and of itself. It does not need a comparison. It does not need a comparison. It does nothing to elevate our suffering. It does nothing to make us feel better. In fact, it gives an opportunity for our enemies to belittle and minimize us. What is happening in Gaza is a war crime. 2 million people, no food, no water, no medicine, bombing hospitals, churches, mosques. The only road out, population transfers. It's a war crime in and of itself. And we should speak to that and continue to speak to that in its isolation, because it needs to be uplifted on its own. In our thousands, in our millions. In our thousands, in our millions. Joining us next is Raphael Duffy, who's an anti-Zionist Jewish member of Socialist Alternative, a student activist who's done a power of solidarity work at Melbourne University, and a dear friend of Palestine. Give it up for Raph! Free, free Palestine! 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 There's a lie I want to correct today. The lie is that Israel speaks for all Jews around the world. That Zionism is the same as Judaism. That the occupation is a complicated religious conflict and not a political one. That it's not a genocide. Well, on Friday night, thousands of Jews in New York City proved this lie wrong. They occupied Central Station and they chanted, "Let Gaza live!" And they chanted, "Free, free Palestine!" And they chanted, "Not in our name!" Israel says that it is bombing Gaza in the name of Judaism. I say, Israel, you do not speak for me. The Jews that speak for me are the 500 Jews who occupied Congress of Palestine and withstood arrest. The Jews that speak for me are the thousands around the world who say, "Not in our name!" Well, right now, Israel has cut off all internet and communications in Gaza. They've begun their murderous ground invasion. Shame. They do not want the world to see the crimes they are committing in Gaza. One thing to understand about Israel, they are professional liars. You can't believe what they say. Right now, there is a hospital, the Al-Shifa hospital, and Israel is bombing closer and closer towards it. They are saying it is a Hamas base. They are lying. It is not a Hamas base. It's the biggest hospital in Gaza. When Israel killed 500 people in another hospital, the Al-Ali Arab hospital, when they murdered 500 defenseless wounded people trying to heal in a concentration camp, they said that the Palestinians blew up their own hospital. They say that all Palestinians are terrorists, that Israel is acting in self-defense. They lied. The terrorists are the ones who blew up hospitals. Israel is a terrorist state. They're a lying terrorist state. Shame, Israel, shame. But I want to talk about another professional liar. And that's Joe Biden and the United States of America.
This is a war machine that backs Israel to the teeth. And what did he say? This is appalling. Joe Biden says not to believe that more than 7,000 Palestinians have been killed. He says this is Hamas propaganda. This is a lie. And in response, the Palestinian Health Ministry, they announced the names of every single Palestinian that has been killed in Gaza that they know of. Aisha Khalil Hamdan Al-Astul, 6,746 names left. Wabda Abdullah Hussein Al-Satu, 6,745. Ibrahim Hamid Hussein Al-Astul, 6,744. Muhammad Salamain Turki Al-Astul, 6,743. I could go on for hours. I could list the names for hours, listing the dead that Joe Biden will not even acknowledge. He will not even acknowledge the blood on his hand. Israel lies, and they call Palestinians beastly animals. But America will not even grant Palestinians a statistic. For America, Palestinians are less than a number on a page. For America, Palestinians do not deserve a name. They do not deserve to be mourned or acknowledged when they are murdered by America. America refuses to even acknowledge its consequences. I could list 6,700 more names killed by Israel. Thousands of them children. Almost half of those killed in Gaza are children. I could spend hours saying the names of thousands of children murdered in just the last 3 weeks, and America will not even acknowledge those names. Shame, USA, shame! Shame, USA, shame! Shame, USA, shame! America is the most professional liar of them all. And this is not the first time. They lied about the Iraq War. They pretended Saddam Hussein had nuclear weapons, and they murdered hundreds of thousands of Iraqis. They lied about Vietnam. The Pentagon Papers show they lied. And they murdered more than 1 million Vietnamese. They lied about the Japanese not surrendering in World War II. And they nuked Hiroshima and generations type of nuclear deformities. And they killed hundreds of thousands. And they still lie about it today. They lie about their crimes. And when the truth comes to light and the war crimes come out, the criminals are never charged. The war crimes Israel is committing now in Gaza will come to light, but they'll never be punished, not by America, because Israel is already getting away with it. Well, there's another set of professional lies I want to talk about. And it's Anthony Albanese and Penny Wong and the Australian Labor Party. Just as Bella talked about just this week, Albanese went to Washington and he hobnobbed with Biden. He reaffirmed his support for the lies of Israel. He made paid efforts to reiterate Israel is defending itself. When Joe Biden says there is no red line that Israel can cross, he said there is no red line, there is no crime that will make our support for Israel broken. There is no crime. We have to know that Australia is in lockstep. Anthony Albanese is right beside him. And together, Australia and America, they push the biggest lie of them all, that they care about liberty and democracy. That when they set fire to the skies of Gaza, that's liberty. That when they bomb civilians, they take collective punishment on the civilian population of 2 million people. That's democracy. That's democracy for Anthony Albanese and Joe Biden. And when it comes to the Middle East, Australia and America have always played hard politics and profits. They talk about Ukraine now, but their commitment to Israel is unbroken. Even in the face of a genocide, they show it more than ever. So we have to see through the lies of the imperial war machine. Because on the side of the Palestinians, we did not have the funding of the American state and Western imperialism, like Israel does. But we do have justice on our side. We have the many Jews around the world who say no in our name. hundreds of thousands who are just marching in London, flooding the city to express their support for Palestine. We have the protests all across Australia. We have all of you here. We have the tens of thousands of pro-Palestine protesters in Egypt who are against the will of their dictator. They pushed into Tahrir Square for the first time since the Egyptian revolution, and they said, "Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine!" And we have, and this is most important, we have the brave people of Gaza who are screaming, who are crying out for the world to fight for them. We have those Palestinian children, families, the Palestinian children who have been killed, families have started writing the children's names on their bodies. And it's horrific, but the point is, if they're going to stop it, they want the world to know about it. They want the world to know the truth, the crimes of what Israel is committing. They don't want their deaths to be in vain. They want people like us who have the power to fight for them. They want us to know. They want to know even when they're facing an ethnic cleansing. The Palestinians want the world to know the truth so that we can keep fighting for them. And I think that's so brave and that's so important. And that's why we have to fight here. That is what we have at our side. We have the bravest people who are resisting 75 years of occupation, who stand against their own families being killed. So free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
Thanks so much for that, Raph. I think it's really, really important that we say that we have the numbers on our side. Our world leaders, they stand on the side of injustice. Australia, USA, they support Israel. They support the genocide that's going on at the moment. That's shameful. We know it's shameful. Shame. But we have hundreds of thousands, we have millions of people on our side, many, many, many more millions than they have in Parliament. We have them on the streets, we have them around the world, and we say that we stand with Palestine. Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! I think it's really, really important as well that we have solidarity from every corner of society. We have solidarity from our Jewish brothers and sisters. We have solidarity from our people across the Middle East that are heroically resisting, as Raph mentioned before. We have people in Australia who might have never been to Palestine that stand with the Palestinian struggle. And we also have members of the Labour movement on our side. I think that's incredibly important. Workers standing with Palestine is how we can make change here.